Hello everyone and welcome back to another MWO new mech video. Myself, Critical Rocket. Here we are with the Vulcan, the new 40-tonner that's been added for the Inner Sphere side. And we're having a quick look at the mech lab here. There has been some changes. There's a light fusion engine there, which I believe is a 260. Gives it a little bit more speed than the base model. Armour has been increased, and I think there's an extra ton of ammo for the AC2, and that's about it. Just survivability is the key with a little extra speed, but all the weapons are still the same. And I've painted it in a Robinson's Ranger kind of camo. And there's a nice tricksy fade there. Nice new editing software. So, this was, admittedly this was the first match I played, but I've played 3 or 4 matches in it so far. And the default build on the 2T is awful. But that's not surprising. It is a medium mech that isn't really built to fight other mechs. It's actually built to kill infantry. However, the design, I love it. I love the cockpit. It looks really cool. Very immersive playing in that style. You've got this weird field of view, and you get used to it quite quickly. I did notice in the sort of right-hand side, if you look in your cockpit down to the right-hand side, that the mech does have what look like a couple of bins that have pipes going into them. No idea why that exists. And I think there's a little gas canister down on the left-hand side, so Christ knows what this pilot's doing. The default build on the 2T is a single AC2. It's in the fluff, that's supposedly the only weapon for engaging enemy mechs. That's all it was given. It also has a single medium laser, a flamer, and a machine gun. Basically, it was designed to hop around in urban environments and basically burn and machine gun infantry and light vehicles to death, using its jump jets to quickly get out of the way of anything bigger and more threatening. And yeah, it was quite effective in that role. In open field combat, yeah, it kind of suffers a bit. It doesn't have quite the same punch, and it could be very easily targeted and brought down, because prior to any customization in MechWarrior terms for armour, it's not the most well armoured of medium mechs out there, relying more on its speed and its jump jets to get away from threats. But this doesn't mean that it can't be customised in some interesting ways. Being outside of the hero, the Bloodlust, which does have missile hardpoints, a majority of the Vulcans do feature numerous energy and ballistic hardpoints, so it's no-brainer really to start tinkering with this thing and turning it into a kind of fast-moving, hard-to-hit, I'll get to that in a minute, ballistic/energy boat, whether you want that to be heavy machine guns or light machine guns. I think lights probably work a bit better with this one, to be honest. And some pulse lasers, basically. And you can do a hell of a lot of work with this thing very quickly. Overall, the design can take a hell of a lot of punishment. You'll see in this match now that the mech is fucking brutal. The amount of hits it takes, it just keeps going. Which I was surprised about. I thought that despite the mech having a sort of gangly appearance, it is nicknamed the SCARECROW in Battletech lore, that it would still end up getting called out very quickly, but it's surprisingly resistant to damage, or at least the hitboxes are generous enough that they do spread a lot of those hits. And visually, I think it's a really, really nice visual update of the good old Vulcan, to be honest. A sweet piece of equipment. I always liked the original design, and this one is quite a nice upgrade. Let's really know what else to go about with this one. Oh yeah, that bit I just kept flying up into the sky. Don't know what the hell happened there. That was a bit strange. But yeah, the design is pretty robust. It's got a nice high-mounted ballistic, so you can probably see that whenever the AC2 is rapidly fired, you actually get a little bit of blind fire, literally for you, because of the flash effect from the AC2. Probably field of view would fix that. I recently changed my field of view to about 83. So I imagine if you've got like a couple of ballistics up in that area, it might blind you when you fire them. But it's still a medium that runs around with high-mounted ballistics. The energy is mounted in the arm, so you got to be aware of that because the arms are a little low, as you can see from that Vulcan there in front. If I was going to change it, I'd probably drop the flamer. I keep the AC2 though. There aren't enough mechs that use AC2s by default anyway. I'd probably end up dropping the machine gun, adding more ammo for the AC2, and probably focusing on having a couple of lasers just to give something that it can do a little bit more damage with by default. But yeah, it is a good mech. It's a good design so far. I'm enjoying it. And the other models that are available, the 5M and the such, the 6T, do bring better base equipment to the table. So it's not like the 2T is a complete washout. It can still be used with relatively decent customization options. As I said, it's nice to have another 40-tonner in there for the inner sphere side. I was honestly surprised when it was announced, because I never thought a mech like the Vulcan would be on PGI's radar, but I guess with the more recent sort of rise of machine guns becoming a default weapon for a lot of players, especially boating the things, as you can see now how much damage it's still taking. I'm getting hit in the back here multiple times, but I think I've been chased by a bushwhacker at this point, but I've been getting hit by a Mad Cat Mark II, Nova, a few other things. Yeah, tough little bugger. So this update also that added the Vulcan also added a few changes that are going to slightly change the landscape, I think. LRMs have had a bit of a rework. It's now apparently harder to target with LRMs, as they've made the cone for the targeting a little bit tighter. They've expanded ECM range up again to 120 meters from 90, so they can give a bit more of a blanket cover effect that they didn't have previous. Streaks and a few other, I think streaks and clan streaks and ATMs have had a velocity increase, so they'll travel a bit quicker, but they have either removed or nerfed how Artemis affects them now. So if you do have Artemis equipped on those weapons, probably best to remove them, because they're not going to be anywhere near as effective as they once were. I've not heard anybody complaining outright about this patch so far, but I guess it remains to be seen. Maybe the players who are big on LRMs will have something to say about that in the coming days after the patch. Usually there'll be a hotfix to balance something out. As far as this mech is concerned, I personally quite like it. I think it will be a decent mech along the lines of the Assassin once people have worked out the kind of builds they want to use for it. And yeah, it should be quite a deadly little 40-tonner. Probably works quite well in tandem with mechs like the Assassin, where the Assassin is big on using clumps of SRMs or streaks. The Vulcan can back that up by using a lot of ballistics and energy weaponry. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see those two working in tandem, I imagine, once players get to grips with the customization options available. So yeah, if you're a medium player and you like your kind of fast, like harasser mediums or backstabbers, I think this is a good choice. So thanks for watching, everybody. I'll leave it there, and I'll see you next time. Bye!